Has started? Yes, there we go. Oh, before that goes, let me go ahead and get this set up so that I don't forget it later, as I have done so many fucking times. There we go. Hey guys, you know I forget stuff sometimes, right? Alright, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Here. Let's go. Going live.
So excited.
Mics are hot. Fortune's tide. Confirm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the new campaign known as Fortune's Tide, brought to you by the Forever DM No More group, hosted on the Friendly Dungeon Master Twitch channel, as should be apparent. I am your host and Dungeon Master, the Friendly Dungeon Master, and I'll be running this game for a little while at least, and then someone will take over, and I'll get to play. But until that happens, you get to deal with my beautiful face and beautiful voice. Before we start our intro video and get this game going, we have a couple of announcements, as we always do. First of all, if anyone is watching, I would like you to let me know that the audio levels are okay. Actually, Megan, who is my wife sitting next to me, if you wouldn't mind monitoring the audio levels and making sure that everyone can be heard properly, that'd be great. Twitch.tv/thefriendlydungeonmaster. So while we're checking on that, let's see here. Announcements.
Can I just say real fast?
Yes.
The overlay is looking like fresh and neat.
I was gonna get to that.
No. I'm looking at it right now, and I think I like the Waterdeep one a lot. That like it's good, but like it looks so clean right now.
Oh yeah. This is it's beautiful. Like I love it. Like every overlay you do, I feel like they get better and better. I am definitely more partial to the Waterdeep one because it's water themed, and I have a soft spot for water themed things. But yeah, this one is really nice too. Anyway, that takes care of one of the things I was going to say. Thank you, Hannah, for our beautiful overlay. And in a few minutes, you will get to see our intro video for this campaign, which Hannah also made. And it is also beautiful. It says we have 5 viewers. If one of you could let me know how the audio sounds, I would greatly appreciate it. Just make sure that you can hear me and everyone else. While that's being done, announcements. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just really excited to get going. Drunk Stream is next week in this time slot. Still not sure of the final cast yet, but it'll be me running it, so pray for me. Send good vibes, voodoo dolls, and sacrifice some goats if you need to. That'd be great.
Goats are good to sacrifice.
Well, yeah. Okay, so Pancakes for All says, I sound fine. That's awesome. So if you wouldn't mind just letting us know how each person sounds as they sound off, that would also be great. So once again, as I said, I am Hobart. I'm the Friendly Dungeon Master. I'll be running this game, and I would like everyone to go around and introduce themselves, unless we have more announcements that I'm forgetting. The schedule is down in the thingy, the panels. You can see it. We're not going to run through the whole thing right now. It's long. We have a lot of stuff coming out, and you should watch it all. So, without further ado, I would like for... Let's go with JJ.
We giving character backstories or just who I am personally?
Not backstories, just who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Jeremy. Also, everybody calls me JJ. I'll be playing Threll Valentine, a half-orc detective fighter.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Let's go next to Amber.
Okay, well, I'm Amber, and I will be playing Eudora Domergu, who is a tiefling druid.
Okay. And then let's go to Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah. If you've been with us for a while, you should know me by now. I use she/her pronouns, and
Thank you.
yes.
Forgot.
I will be playing Aoife Elantari, a ranger actress. So.
Okay. And then last but not least, or no, sorry, we have 2 more. Wow, we have so many people.
Who are we
let's
getting
go.
rid of?
Yeah. Sorry, Jess, you're out. No, that's not true. Thanks for playing. Jess. Jess, could you introduce yourself?
I'm Jess. I'm going to be playing Reva Iona, who is a Tempest cleric, a water ganassi. Yeah.
Okay. And now, last but not least, let's go with Mark.
And I'm Mark. I'll be playing Gamros, a Goliath Storm Sorcerer.
Okay. So Reva is very low, so we're going to change that real quick. Give
I have
just a
something to
moment.
add.
Yep, go ahead.
The character art that you can see around on our overlay, our very own Amber did all of those for us. So just have to throw that out there. She does do commissions, and her Twitter is down below in the description if you like what you see.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Thanks. Give me a follow.
Yeah. Yes, all of our Twitter handles are down below in the panels as well. Yeah, I'm trying to mind the ums. I'm just not doing a very good job of it. I think that's all of the announcements, correct? That's the introductions, the announcements done. We're ticking off the boxes as we go. Now, we are going to dive in to session 1 of Fortune's Tide. And I'm going to play the intro video. We're going to go silent while that happens.
Your eyes are the only thing I see. When I look deep down inside of me, you're the only one I need. This life is the only one we have, so let's waste away together with the only time we have.
And we are back. Thank you once again, Hannah, for that beautiful intro video. I hope that it played smoothly for everyone. We did have some trouble with our Waterdeep one, but that may have been because I was on Wi-Fi. Streaming across Wi-Fi is no fun. But this is on my beautiful large PC, so it should be good. All right, are we ready? Finally, for this to kick off?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. There is no such thing as peace. What some dub peace is simply the drowning, or what some dub peace is simply the drawing of a breath before the inevitable exhalation. It is the ebb of the tide before the crash of the wave. It is the stillness in the air before the calamitous storm breaks. Such is the time we find ourselves in. It is a time to forge, a time to till, and a time to wet our blades upon the stone. For soon the storm will be upon us. Soon the waves of war will wash upon our shores once more, and we will stand with our feet drenched in the blood of our enemies. While the pawns rage and scream and die, dashed upon the rocks of fate, we will weather the seas. We will be thrust forth into greatness, borne swiftly upon fortune's tide to our destiny. Commander Lycados Astaris of Tenacis. In a letter to his brother, shortly before he was killed in battle. It is a funny thing, destiny. I hear people talk about it all the time, as if it were an inexorable force pulling us all towards some greater purpose. I have found, however, that it is not destiny that shapes the individual. Rather, it is the individual who shapes their destiny. This may seem like a small revelation to many, but for me it is staggering in its implications. I am a life that was created out of a desire to take life away. The irony is not lost on me, though it took some time before I understood the meaning of irony. No, destiny is shaped by those who live. It is forged by those who venture forth and take charge of their lives. For if we allow others to dictate our fates, how are we different than the cattle that graze upon the hill? It is far better to strive towards a destiny you desire, rather than one laid before you by others. I am fortunate to have met a group of people who helped me move toward my own destiny. What it is, I cannot yet say, but I do know that the individuals that I travel with will shape their own destinies, and I desire to do the same and stand alongside them as we do. From the Journal of Pierce. The seas are calm. All of you are being gently rocked by the waves as you travel towards the port city of Amasa. Amasa is a thriving trade location upon the coast, and it is a neutral place. And the Lady Windwing, which is the ship that you are traveling upon, has made good time picking all of you up from far-flung destinations, some of you, bringing some of you home to where you belong. You are all upon this vessel for different reasons, but you are all here and find yourselves in a little bit of a pickle. As the ship has traversed the seas over the past 10 days, much of the crew, many of the deckhands, the first mate, and almost all of the passengers have fallen ill. It is a sickness very like the flu. It is debilitating, and the people who have it are currently bedridden, and the able-bodied people have been tasked with being nursemaids and helping to clean up accidents, we'll say, unfortunate circumstances. So the 5 of you are currently in the galley, eating a meal, having a drink. I would like each of you to, in turn, tell me what you look like, and however much description you want to give. And then I would also like you to tell me if you know any of the other party members and if you are sitting with them or alone. We will start with Gamros. I think you are muted.
Oh, you're muted.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. So, Gamros is about 7 feet tall, just a little bit shy of 7 feet tall. Frosty blue skin. His eyes constantly look clouded, but if you look close enough, you can see that they're constantly scanning and trying to pick out little bits and pieces of information. He is always fiddling with something, so he's eating a meal right now. While he's got probably some of his food in one hand, he's probably like twirling his fork or his knife or like rolling a coin along his knuckles. And he's not really sitting with anyone. He's not like, he doesn't have an air of hostility or anything around him. He doesn't quite know what to figure with everything that's going on. So he's just kind of taking a step back and observing.
Okay. All right, so Gamros is at a table by himself, just kind of idly twirling a fork. Are you drinking anything in particular?
Yeah, probably an ale, but like nursing it. Like
Okay.
I'm not interested in getting slammed. Like I will drink whatever is offered to me, essentially.
All right. Okay. Let's go next to Reva.
All right. Reva is sitting with Aoife and Eudora. She is dressed in her mustard yellow dress. She's a water genasi, so she has blue skin and scales on her face and arms. She's drinking water, and that's it. And she's kind of sitting silently with the group.
Okay. Well, that leads us well into Aoife.
So Aoife Elentari definitely looks like a drama queen. From her look, she's got a like well-endowed figure, average height, very thick, shiny, voluminous, wavy gray hair. She's got a mustard-colored ribbon tied like a little accent to throw off everything else. She's wearing mostly like silvers and grays and blues. Showing off most of her arms with a light, silky elven cape. You can see her half-elven ears sticking out from her curls. And she has a tattoo of a heart right under her eye right here. And she is currently enjoying tea, most likely, while sitting between her two friends, and she probably is the one who picked the table, because the table is a little out of the way because she does not want to get sick. She doesn't want to be near anyone that she knows might be sick. So, yeah, she's definitely, like, she's in the chair that's, like, against the wall. Like, the whole table is between her and everyone else. Very disinterested in illness.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And then that will bring us to Eudora.
All right, so Eudora is the tiefling, and she has very bright orange skin. And very, creepy looking eyes, tiefling. She has black scleras and then like these like striking, like almost white yellowish pupil situation going on. And then she has like bull horns that kind of come out. They're not huge, but they're coming out. You could see it. And then she has a little feather charm tied to one of her horns.
Okay.
And she's basically dressed up in a leather vest, a collared shirt, leather skirt. Very, very cowgirl type of fashion. And I say she's just sitting at the table, kind of sipping on water and kind of just leaning her head on the table because the swaying of the boat is kind of getting to her. She's not a boat person. So if there's bread, she's probably taking little pieces of bread and munching on that. But yeah, so that's Eudora.
Okay. And then that will bring us finally to Threll.
Threll's kind of a light green skinned. He's got a leather trench coat on with a fedora on top of his head. He looks like in his younger years he looked like he was really well in shape, but he's kind of let himself go. He's kind of sitting at the table with his heads down like this, muttering to himself, "I didn't sign up for this shit." And he splits up, he reaches at his trench coats and pulls out a hip flask and kind of just slams the whole thing down and realizes it's empty, puts it back and pulls out another one from the other side and does the same thing.
Okay.
Then he kind of just takes his hat off and runs his fingers through his head and puts it back on and just kind of goes back to observing everybody.
Okay. So as you all sit, enjoying your beverages, and some of you enjoying the company of one another, it's not been a pleasant experience on this journey. As I said, pretty much everyone is ill or is in the process of recovering from being ill. So it's not quite welcome, but it's different when you hear kind of the clump, clump, clump of 2 iron peg legs coming towards the bulk of you. And this individual you would know as the second mate, Grillo Ironshanks. And he is a gnomish fellow. Hasn't really spoken much to any of you on this trip. He hasn't really had reason to. But he does approach the 3 ladies first. And he has a small cap that he wears. It's just like this ridiculous feather cap. And he removes it and is kind of wringing it in his hands. He looks nervous to be approaching a table full of women. And he comes up to the 3 of you and kind of stands there for a second, and then
Alfie immediately pulls out her handkerchief and puts it over her.
My apologies. That wasn't a sick cough. That was a "can I have your attention" cough.
Oh, it's staying up just in case.
No worries. No worries. I don't blame you. However, I have been sent by Captain Trindell to bring you and your companions to her quarters.
We're not in trouble, are we?
I don't think so. I wasn't really told.
That's good. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what we could have done.
We didn't do anything.
We've just been sitting here.
Fine.
Yes, I don't think you're in trouble. I think she wants to ask you something.
Yeah, you sound like you're just the messenger, so
Yes,
don't bite
that's.
the messenger.
I mean, I'm second mate as well, but in this instance, yes, I am. I am a messenger. So, pardon. Hold on one moment, and then he kind of wobbles over, and Threll, you hear the clump, clump, clump of the iron peg legs as well, and he approaches you, and he's a little bit more confident approaching you, and excuse me, sir?
I turn around and say, "What?"
Loses a little bit of confidence. Captain Trindell has requested your presence in her quarters with the rest of the people here. And you guys are the only people in the galley right now.
So Threll kind of pops his hat off, runs his fingers through his hair, and he says, "I didn't sign up for this shit." Puts his hat back on, and he's like, "Well, if you're asking, let's get this over with."
Thank you. And finally, he will approach Gamros and repeat the question. Looks a little more intimidated than he did with the women, with Gamros. And stutters quite a bit. Captain Trindell would like you to come to her quarters, please.
You're a gnome, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you tinker?
Occasionally, I made my legs.
That's some mighty fine craftsmanship.
Oh, I thank you.
I'd really like to chat sometime about how you made those legs, if we get some time.
And at this, he brightens visibly, and because he's been kind of looking down and just looking miserable, and he brightens, and he is,
Yes, that would be wonderful. It'd be nice to have someone to talk to about the craft.
Oh, I know. Can I show you what I make?
Uh, um, Perhaps later. Captain Trindle was
Oh,
most
yeah,
insistent.
Captain Trindle.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm very much interested.
Let's try and chat sometime.
Yes.
In the meantime, take me to the captain.
All right. So Grillo will lead all of you to the captain's quarters, and he knocks on the door, and you hear the captain's voice, and all of you met the captain when you boarded this vessel. Captain Jasmine Trindle is another water genasi, and she is an imposing figure. She is quite large. Not quite Gamros sized, but she is large, and by large I mean she's well built. She carries herself proudly, and she has a blue and silver coat that she wears. That is, it has quarter sleeves. So it's not entirely sleeveless, but it's just got these very short sleeves that come down, and you can see these very muscular arms underneath it. And at the moment, you cannot see her, but you hear her voice, and it's very soft, and her voice sounds like pouring water with a vocal component to it. It's very interesting, and it's very similar to one of your party members. And yes. And Grillo, I've brought the passengers as you requested. I'll be tending the helm. And he goes up to the helm, and the door opens, and you see Captain Trindle in front of you. And she kind of nods to all of you and will gesture so that you all can come inside and have a seat.
So Aoife just walks in. She still has like the hanky up, and it's just like she moves to kind of like find a seat that's far away. Very concerned about getting sick.
I must say, Eudora probably pulls her bandana up from her neck and just kind of wraps it around her face.
Okay.
But she takes a seat to listen to the captain.
Yeah. Okay. The rest of you follow suit?
Threll will kind of walk through the door and step to the left and just kind of lean cross-arm back against the wall and just kind of observe.
That's good, because there are not many seats in here.
Gamros will go and if there's a bookcase that he can position himself to look at while pretending to listen, that's where he will position himself, is to get an idea of what books she may have.
Okay. So we'll get to that in just a moment. There are some books on a small shelf. It's not necessarily a bookcase, but they're just kind of stacked up. No names on the spines, but you can kind of, if you want to surreptitiously thumb through them a little, you can attempt to do that here in just a moment. Okay. But Captain Trindle will look at all of you, and she sits down heavily on the bed with her legs crossed, and will just look at you. Well, this is a right pickle we're in, isn't it?
You've got that right.
I've never seen the like. Oh, gods be damned. Well, I have requested that that you able-bodied folk be brought to me, because I have a bit of a problem, and I can't devote any more of my resources to finding out who's causing it. The long and short of it is that there's been a wee bit of sabotage going on this vessel. We've been able to keep it under control for now, but more and more of my deckhands are going sick, and I'd just like to find out who's doing it. Is that something you'd be interested in? There's payment. Payment involved.
Sabotage? What type of sabotage?
It's small stuff, really. It's some holes ripped in sails, and whoever it was drilled a hole in one of the lifeboats. It's easily fixed, not the work of a professional by any means.
Thrall will kind of put his hat back and look at her and say, "Do you suspect anybody?"
Well, none of the people who are sick, because it's been happening since people have been sick. So, I don't think it's any of them.
How do you not know it's one of us?
I don't. But,
Okay.
since you entered this cabin, willingly, I'd like to think that you're honorable folk.
Well, do we have an idea of the number of people that haven't fallen ill yet?
Well, there's you, and then there's 6 others.
Okay. Do we have a list of those passengers?
I do. And she will pull out a small ledger and write some names down and tear them off and hand it to you. And I will give you those names because I do have them in this little thingy. Where did it go? All right. So, all right, do you want to write the names down?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Oh my god, I just lost it again. Oh, all right. So, the first one is a halfling, Georgina Brushgather.
All right.
Okay. One is a half orc named Brack, Braak.
Yep.
And the last one is a human by the name of Kali. That's the only name given. Kali.
Okay.
All right. And then the other 3 are Durania. Durana, Duraina. Fenwick, Fenwick.
Yep.
Eris Mithanme, Eris Mithanmae. Durana is a half elf. Eris is a human. And then there is Nisa, Nyssa, and Nisa is a dragonborn.
Cool.
So, Captain will also tell you that the would-be saboteurs cut through most of the anchor rope so that it would snap when the anchor was attempted to be lowered. But as with pretty much every ship worth its salt, there's a spare anchor carried on board, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. So it lends itself to the idea that this is not the work of professionals.
What was that last name, Hobart?
That would be
Nisa.
Nyssa. The dragonborn.
So the anchor was cut. I mean, are we free to go peer around?
Aye, if you'd like for one of the deckhands to lead you about to all of the places that have been sabotaged, most of them have been repaired by now, but he can at least show you and you can do some investigating if you wish. Or you can question the passengers.
You didn't happen to save the rope that was cut, did you?
I did. We just mended it. As we did with the sails and the holes in the lifeboats as well.
Evidence tampering. Damn it.
Well, I mean, we can't have holes in our lifeboats or a faulty anchor. And the holes in the sails can't go nowhere. Again, we thought these were isolated incidents, but it turns out that it's keeping going.
I suppose our best bet is to just start questioning people.
I agree.
I will request that Grillo be present, because you are not officials. Grillo will be there to make sure everything is on the up and up, while I man the helm.
Of course.
What's the definition of up and up?
Don't torture people.
Oh, that's fine. I was just gonna scare them so they wreck themselves.
Oh, a bit of scaring's fine. Don't frighten any children, though.
No, children are cool. You just leave them be. None of these are kids, right? None of these names you gave us?
I mean, the Durena, Eris, and Nisa, they're relatively young. Not, I mean, they're old enough to travel on their own, but not old.
Okay.
All right, so do you guys want to investigate the sabotage sites, or would you rather question the passengers?
Aoife would like to move to question the passengers.
You can also split up and do both.
I'd like to...
It's a boat. You could split the party.
I'll go to where the anchor was. I want to check out the anchor room.
Okay.
I want to see if I can subtly thumb through the books real quick before we go.
I would like you to make a sleight of hand check, please.
Woohoo! I'm mediocre at those. Nat 20. Holy.
Yep. You get to do it. Very first roll. Way to start it off. Critical success. Got to use my lovely little animation.
Yes.
I love that thing. All right. With a nat 20, you are easily able to thumb through these books without her noticing. And unfortunately, they're not terribly interesting. They're mostly ledgers of where the ship has been, where the ship is going, the cargo that it's carrying. However, you do notice written in one of the books a very small entry. And it is not, there's no name attached to it. It is simply, it has a mark that denotes that it was received. And all it says as a description is deliverable. And its destination is marked as Amasa, which is the city you are all traveling to.
Yeah.
But there is nothing else. Unlike all of the other items, there is no other descriptor. Just deliverable.
Gamros is too curious to let this go, so...
Yeah.
But I'm gonna wait because I don't want to ask the captain around everyone else. So let's go do some questioning, because if I can prove my worth, then maybe she'll give me the answer more freely.
Okay. All right. So you guys, are you all going to? Threll, you're going to the anchor.
Correct.
Gamros, are you following the ladies, or are you going with Threll, or are you going off on your own?
I'm gonna go with Threll because this dude is really weird, and I'm super curious because I figure if he's got all these pockets and shit, like he's probably got a couple of cool gadgets that I want or want to learn how to make. So my curiosity is going to have me go with Threll.
Okay. So you and Threll go off to the anchor. I will have. Are you making independent investigation checks, or are you helping one another make the check? Because one of you can roll with advantage, or you can both roll a straight roll.
I got a +5 to investigation. If you want to.
I will aid.
Okay. So Threll, make an investigation check with advantage, please.
Oh, thank God it's an advantage. Let's see. That's 22.
22. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to get my dice out because, like a bad dungeon master, I forgot to do that. I have to roll dice too, guys. That's important. All right, so the anchor, let's find that. Yeah. So with that investigation check, you look at the rope, and oddly enough, the rope was not mended. The captain was mistaken. This rope was just replaced. So you find the old rope. One of the deckhands brings it to you. And the old rope was cut just enough to where it would snap as soon as the anchor was moved. And you gather from looking at this that a professional probably would have cut it in a way that would cause it to break when it was underwater. This was cut too far, essentially, so that if the anchor was just moved, it would snap. Knowing that there is a spare anchor on board would render the sabotage moot. So any of the deckhands, any seasoned traveler would know this. This was a slapdash type of thing. And another thing that you notice is some flakes of blue. And I would like you to make a nature check, please. Some little blue flakes along the area where the rope was cut.
15.
15. That's enough. You've been around a little while. So when a dragonborn reaches a certain age, they begin to molt, and they will shed their scales and there will be new ones underneath. There is currently only one blue-scaled dragonborn on board.
Wouldn't be Nissa, would it?
It would. Seen her in passing.
So looking at this rope, was it a clean cut or look like it's been chewed through?
It wasn't chewed, but the knife that was used looked like it was not very sharp. So.
And I'll ask the deckhand, is there nobody here 24/7? Do you guys leave this post?
So one of the deckhands is kind of milling about, and is the same one who brought you the rope. And he tells you that normally there would be someone on watch 24/7, but since most of the crew is ill, there wasn't anyone on watch last night, which is when this particular sabotage occurred. There was someone manning the helm, but they didn't report seeing anything out of the ordinary.
Now, how big are these flakes of, is it just dragon scale, kind of?
Yeah, it's like little chips, like almost like metal shavings, in a way.
Is there a way to kind of collect some of these and pocket them? Okay.
Yeah, you can
I'll take some of it.
All right. So you've got that, and now we will move to the three ladies, the trio of ladies. Who do you go to first?
So Aoife, as soon as they get out of the office, she turns to Eudora and Raven and is like, are you girls okay with coming with me, or do you want to split up? Because I have a particular idea I would like to investigate.
Oh, well, I don't mind following. You go ahead. I'll be your backup.
Yes, where were you planning on going?
So, hear me out. The young ones that were discussed. Immaturity can often leave one to cause a little bit of mischief, so I thought that perhaps we should question the last three here on the list.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
So we've just got to hunt them down and run into them. The first three mentioned, the halfling, the one just named Callie, them, they're the last ones I'm interested in. I'm interested in the young ones that immaturity can lead you astray.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So which of those three do you approach first? They're pretty easy to find. They are...
whoever she finds first.
Okay. All right. So we will say that you find Eris. And Eris is he's a human boy,
it looks to be about 17-ish. He's a little bit pudgy, and doesn't carry himself very well. He's kind of slouchy, and he has light blonde hair that's very close cropped and very piercing blue eyes. And he is currently just like pacing the hallway where the passengers' quarters are. And he is the first one that you run into. And as he sees the three of you, he looks like he's getting ready to make his way into one of the rooms.
And Aoife kind of like raises a hand. She's like, "Excuse me, would you happen to be Eris?"
Yes, I am.
Would you mind giving me a moment of your time?
What's this about?
Oh, I just have a question, darling.
All right.
So, do you know anything about some of the mischief that has been happening here on board?
Mischief? What
Yes,
do you mean?
I've heard someone has been cutting up the sails or putting holes in the lifeboats. That's not safe at all.
No, that sounds terrible.
You haven't heard of that at all? You don't know anything of it?
Nope. Sure don't. And he once again turns to make his way into his room.
Are you sure? And like she like moves like in front of the door, like that dramatic lady pose against the wall. She's like,
I will say you can choose. You can choose persuasion or intimidation for this one.
It'll probably be persuasion.
All right, let's do it.
Her character she's loading. Thanks,
Yeah.
D&D Beyond.
Woo, D&D Beyond. Oh yeah, by the way, you guys can look at all the character sheets using the D&D Beyond overlay. Hopefully it's working.
Yep. We're gonna do some womanly persuasion.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. That is a 11.
Okay. And I am going to roll against it. Ooh. Nope, don't know anything about that. Seems terrible. Are you investigating? You don't much look like investigators.
Well, investigators can look however they want to look, sweetheart.
He blushes, like, immediately. And it's one of those, like, from the neck up. Very cartoon-like.
She's just like, are you sure you can't help me out in any way?
No. Nope. That's I don't know anything. I would like all three of you to make perception checks, please.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
That's something I have.
Okay, your sheet.
14.
Okay.
I got a 23.
23.
Is that
I
a
had a
nat
23
20?
too.
No, it's not.
You
a
got
nat 20.
23 too? All right,
Yeah.
so while Aoife is talking to this young man and kind of, feminine wiling it up, you two notice on his belt he is wearing a blade that is not sheathed, it's just kind of tucked in, and the blade is serrated. And this is notable because none of the deckhands use serrated blades. There is nothing on this ship that a serrated blade would be used for, other than cooking, and for possibly for some of the sabotage things that have been brought to your attention.
Okay, so Reva is gonna walk up and she's just gonna go, are you sure you don't know anything? Can I roll intimidation? Because
Yes,
she's
you
just
can.
glaring at him.
Yeah. Yes.
I got a nat 20.
Oh!
Hey!
Critical success. Yeah. I'm not even going to roll against it. So your question was, are you sure you don't know anything?
Yeah.
He starts to... No. Fuck. Look, I was just doing what I was told.
By who?
But people, and when he says people, I imagine Reva kind of like just like, flexes a little.
She's sitting there with her arms crossed and just kind of.
Are you doing that thing where, like, when you cross your arms, you're kind of like puffing up your biceps? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He sees that. And I was doing what Roscoe told me to do.
Roscoe.
Who is Roscoe?
See, none of you are familiar with Roscoe. You do not recognize the name. Roscoe Shippens?
Is he on the boat?
No, he owns other boats.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
he sent us to make a little bit of trouble.
Okay, darling, you're coming with me.
Do I have to?
And Rainbow not Rainbow.
And he like will make a little bit of an attempt to struggle, but he is not strong at all. And like there's no fight in this kid.
You're gonna come with us.
Yeah, Reva terrified him, so he's very scared.
You're gonna have a conversation with the captain while we go try to find your friends.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to tell us?
He starts crying.
Oh,
just weeping. Just weeping. You guys almost have to drag him. So you guys
walking behind, and she just has her hand out, and she's like pushing him.
All right. So while that is happening, what are Threll and Gamros doing?
I'll look to Gamros and be like, "Hey, big guy, let's go check out this lifeboat."
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, so you go to check out the lifeboat. Once again, I will have you guys make investigation checks.
I will aid you, or do you want us to both make them?
Either way you want to do it.
I will aid.
Okay.
15.
15. It takes a little bit of looking around, and you can't see where the hole was in the lifeboat, but the deckhand describes it to you, and he describes it as it was drilled rather than cut or smashed. It was drilled in, and they actually have left around where the holes were drilled, because there are 12 lifeboats. Excuse me. There are 12 lifeboats on this ship, and around each of them, where the holes were drilled, is a small pile of wood shavings and sawdust. And you can see in those piles, you can see footprints, or at least partial footprints in most of them. And there's one that you find a heavy footprint in, like a distinct footprint. And it's a little smaller. Definitely doesn't look like it was made by an adult man, an adult male humanoid. It was made by somebody lighter and smaller than that. That's really about all you find looking around the lifeboats.
Does it look like it could be a halfling footprint?
Oh, sorry. It doesn't quite look that small.
Okay.
Actually, I will have you guys, since you're looking at the footprints, you can make either nature or survival checks, whichever is better for you.
All right, so they are equal. 19.
Okay.
Set is
14.
treating me well today.
19. All right. With a 19, you're able to tell that this footprint was it's depressed a little further down because whoever made it is walking with a slight limp. And
Okay.
the size of the footprint indicates that it is probably someone of a more slight build. So
Okay.
possibly human, elven, half-elf, in that realm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will also say, given that check, in one of the piles, you find a single gray hair.
Okay. All right.
Heck, guys, it was Aoife all along.
That's the twist.
Dang.
Hannah's going to roll up a new character. Aoife is the big bad for this campaign.
Spoiler alert!
It was all a ploy.
Comes back in episode 25.
Yeah. God, that'd be crazy. So, of the
There'd be
people on
some
board...
deep metagaming.
Yeah. Of the people on board, you only know a couple that have this particular length and color of hair, and one of them is on your list, and that is Dorena Fenwick.
Okay.
And Dorena is indeed a half-elf.
She is.
Yes.
According to what Thrindle said.
I bet she's got a limp too.
Yeah, I would say that it's not a huge vessel, so you would have seen her walking around, and yes, she does walk with a slight limp.
Threll. Well, actually, no, I don't even know your name. Hey,
that's true,
buddy. I'm Gamros, and I think I know who made these footprints. You know that old lady that she kind of walks with a limp?
Old lady.
Yeah, like half elf.
She's
Gray
actually
hair.
not that old. She has gray hair, but she doesn't appear very old.
Maybe he's seen her from the back of the head.
Oh, that's fair.
Sure. And Gamros isn't overly exposed to a lot of things.
Oh, that's true. Yep, she's old as fuck.
Yeah, I only know gray hairs. So, you know that half elf lady that has the gray hair and walks with the limp?
I think I've seen her around.
I think she might have made these footprints because if you look here and I point to where it's noticeable to me that it's been made with someone with a limp.
Right.
I point and I see. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a slight depression on the one side that makes me notice there was some more weight put on one foot over the other. That's why I think. And I pull up the gray hair. I found this.
So I kind of tip my hat and I say, "It's Thrill, by the way." He's like, "You might make me a pretty good private eye one of these days."
It's a private eye. I know of an arcane eye, but what's a private eye?
Yeah, we'll explain later.
Okay.
Sounds dirty. All right.
So I'm assuming we're still up on the top deck with the lifeboats running around. So
Yes.
the sails would be right here.
Yep.
Okay.
And as you all are having this conversation, you see the three ladies approach, and in front of them is this blonde-haired boy who is just weeping openly and is being pushed by Reva and is flanked by Eudora and Aoife. And yeah, you guys you see it, and they're headed towards the captain's quarters, looks like.
Thrindell said not to torture them.
No, we didn't. We were just talking. That's it.
Be sensitive. Don't worry.
I'm not sensitive.
Oh, darling, you don't worry.
Are you okay? Did they hurt you?
Excuse me.
Did you pass gas?
I'm done with them. Let's go, kid. Turns towards the captain's quarters.
And you see the kid kind of look at Gamros and, like, thinking maybe you could help, and then, like, takes in your full appearance and decides he's better off where he's at, and because he sees Threll with you as well. And so you all make your way to the captain's quarters with Eris. And what are Threll and Gamros doing as we're going to have a conversation with the captain?
Since we're right here with the sails, I assume we check out the sails and whatnot.
Okay. Investigation checks one more time. And we'll go back to the three of you. You knock on the door, and Captain Trindell opens it and sees this weeping mess of a boy in front of her. And
Here's one of your problems. One of them.
Aye.
Apparently, he's been taking orders from someone named Roscoe.
As soon as you say that name, you see Captain Trindell's face harden. And her hair, which for a water genasi is normally made of water and is just kind of like flowy, it stops. It stops flowing and almost seems to freeze in place. And she kind of grips her hands very tightly. Aye. That bastard has been trying to drive me out of business for the past 20 years. So he finally sent some goons to do his work, has he?
Seems that way, and I doubt this one's the only one.
No, he... And she gestures to him. He is still sobbing. At this point, he is on his knees. He definitely doesn't look the sort to be working alone, does he?
Do you have a jail on board?
I will manage.
Well, here's one.
Would one of your party be willing to stay with him below decks? Or all
Just
of you?
looks down at
I
him.
can do it.
Or all of
I
you?
can do it.
Oh,
See if I calm
you
him down
sure?
a bit. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it.
thank you. And so Grillo and Eudora will lead Eris below decks. And as you get below decks, you see a cargo hold, much like any other vessel, which, well, yeah, you wouldn't be that familiar with. So you see a bunch of crates and barrels, and some of them are labeled food, some of them are just labeled rations, and then there are some other various bits and bobs around, some coiled rope. And in the far corner, you find a little space to kind of sit him down and pull a crate over. And you can choose to tie him up if you wish, or you can just hang out with him.
Yeah, Eudora's probably just gonna hang out with him. Just lasso him if he tries to. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, he is just he's gonna stay right there. He is not going to move.
Sweet.
Yeah. So you're hanging out with him. I would like you to make a perception check, please.
Perception check.
Yep. The rest of you.
All right.
So we're going back to Threll and Gamrus. What were your investigation checks for the sales? Muted. 16?
I was muted. Yep, 16.
Right. Okay. 16. You notice that the sails were cut with a serrated blade. And do I have anything else about that? Let's see here. Yep. So use serrated blade, and you would also know that the only serrated blades on board are the ones used for cooking or for cutting rope in a hurry. So, like, if a rope gets tangled around someone, they would use a mildly serrated edge to cut that free. But the cuts look like they were made very haphazardly, because they're not actually there, but the deckhand describes to you with a piece of charcoal and kind of draws them out where they were, so that you can see what they looked like and how they were made. And it just looks like someone was just going ham as fast as possible on these sails. They were not cut in a manner to actually disable them. They were cut in a way that it would be a mild inconvenience at best. And let's see here. Yeah. Made haphazardly. And once again, the Night's Watch reports that they didn't see anything, but one of them did claim to hear some people moving around, but never saw anything. So didn't think much of it. You know, you're out at sea, you hear weird things.
But
So,
they heard people versus person?
Mm-hmm. Multiple.
Okay.
They think. They're not entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
I look at Gamros and I say, we got the evidence, now we just need the culprits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys tell us where we might find Dorena Fenwick?
One of the deckhands. Is that a passenger?
Yeah.
It'd probably be in the passenger's quarters.
Okay.
I mean, y'all stay there too, so
Yeah.
just one of
Those
the rooms.
rooms are cramped for me. But yeah. Okay, Thrall,
Yeah.
let's just go start knocking on doors.
Now, are these passenger compartments, are they labeled with names, or is it just like
No.
people are in?
No, it's sort of like a hotel in a way. This is a passenger ship, so people come and go pretty frequently. But all of the rooms with people that are ill have a white marker on them so that you know not to go in those.
Okay.
You come to a door that does not have a white marker on it. And are you just knocking, or are you being more forceful?
We'll just knock. We're not trying to...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to talk to Dorena, and as you knock, you hear a lilting female voice. Hello? Who's there?
Dorena? It's
Yes.
Gamros.
Who is Gamros?
Big tall blue dude.
Oh, yes. I have seen you. What can I do for you?
We need to show you something very important.
That sounds like a dodgy proposition, honestly. Everyone's
I'm
getting
not
sick.
very
I'd prefer not to open the door.
Well, we've been asked by the captain to bring you to our quarters so that we can confirm that you are not ill.
I would like you to make a deception check, please.
Yeah, you would.
All kinds of rolling going on. I love it.
All right. Deception. Oh, that's a sweet one. 24.
24.
Damn!
Yeah, the door opens and you see a very slim half-elf woman with long, wavy gray hair that's just kind of pulled back behind the ears and let to fall. And she has dark brown eyes. And she stoops very slightly, but you can see that part of the reason is because one of her legs is visibly shorter than the other. And this is the cause of the limp that she walks with. But she moves fairly quickly. And
All right.
So
I'm gonna cast message.
okay.
So I'm gonna point at Thrall and I'm gonna say, we're just gonna take her to my room. Just follow my lead.
Okay. Well, you get the message. You can reply in your head. You know how this works.
Yeah. I'll send a message back as long as you know what you're doing.
Okay.
I don't, but I figure it's better than bringing her to the captain. Let's get information first.
Okay. So she follows you for a short distance, and as you stop at your quarters, this is not the captain's quarters.
No, she's gonna come meet you here. If you're sick, she doesn't want you being sick in her room.
Let's see. Oh wow, Laura K483. Thank you so much for the host. Holy crap, that's awesome. I think that's the first time that's happened.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeah, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Laura also streams on Sundays before us, but I don't know
nice.
her channel yet. Yeah.
Well, yeah, put that in the chat. Anyway, so based on your previous deception roll, she will acquiesce, but she definitely looks nervous. She looks like she is not happy about this situation.
Okay.
But she will accompany you in, and she sits very properly on the edge of a chair. Like, she doesn't recline, she doesn't lean back, but she just looks like she's just waiting.
I'm gonna send another message to Thrall.
Okay.
You said you're a private eye. Does that mean you can see things that I can't? Because I don't know what to do after this.
I'll send a message back. It doesn't quite work like that.
Oh, you'll have to explain to me one day. I really like gadgets and tinkering, and I think I'd like a private eye.
Actually, I gotta send Hobart a message real quick because I have questions.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was gonna say you could just ask me, I guess, but
No.
oh.
Oh, there's secret
Ooh.
questions.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
Another big bad guy who started with us? Oh,
Yep.
no.
All right, so while that is happening, let's say that, ladies, you, okay, I have to get it on my phone because if I move away from this screen, it'll mess up our overlay.
Yeah, I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? All right, so let me. Oh, yes, you can.
So I'll send a message back to Gamros. And I said, but there are other things I can do. I said, I'll be right back. I walk out the door.
Okay. So, Gamros, you are left alone with Durena, and it looks like she has, at this point, decided that she is not going to speak to you. She's not going to say anything until the captain arrives. While this is happening, we will move back to the rest of the party, and the captain has sent Eudora and Eris downstairs to the cargo hold. What are the two of you doing?
So Aoife, she's like, all right, well, Rafa, we still have the two other ones to worry about. And so that way, some awkward breaking the fourth wall doesn't happen. I'm going to quickly roll a d20, and all the odds are going to be looking for who the gentlemen are dealing with right now, and any even is going to be looking for our dragonborn friend.
All right.
That is an even number. That
Nice.
is a 4.
Works out well.
So, Aoife's like, let's look for our friend Nessa.
All right, I'll try not to make this one cry, okay?
Yes, that was very much you. That wasn't me.
Oh, I know, that was all me. I just take all responsibility.
Of course. Well, hopefully Eudora can handle that. Never mind, I know she can handle that child. Let's go.
All right. So you guys go to find Nisa.
Yes.
Once again, she is in quarters.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's pretty easy to find on this ship. Again, it's not a big vessel. So, given the paper from the captain that you guys are still holding, you find her room easily enough. And do you knock or do you barge in?
No, Aoife goes up to the door and she's like,
you hear a fairly annoyed sounding, yes.
Excuse me, darling. I need to talk to a, Nessa?
There's no Nessa here.
Nisa?
There's no Nisa here.
Is there a dragonborn here?
No. Nobody's home.
Oh, that's just bullshit. Open the door.
Why?
Because I need to talk to you.
I don't need to talk to you.
Would you rather me break the door?
I would like to see it.
What? Do you have the door barricaded?
Perhaps.
So Aoife's just gonna reach down and try to see if the doorknob is unlocked.
It is locked.
Okay, so can she hip check it to try to see if she can, perhaps break the lock, perhaps see if anything is actually blocking it?
I will say make an athletics check, please.
Siri was just screaming at me there for a second. Oh, ooh, that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yes.
Yeah. So you hip check the door, and for such a slight individual, you are able to just like slam this door open. There is considerable amount of force.
It's the thick thighs.
THICC.
Yes.
And the door, it doesn't swing all the way open. It definitely hits something behind it, and you hear, "Gods damn it!" And the door swings open the rest of the way, and you see a blue-scaled dragonborn standing there with a little bit of blood coming out of the nostrils of the snout.
So that's kind of where, like, Aoife, like, poses leaning against to one side of the door, and she just knows Rava's gonna copy her on the other side.
Rava totally does.
And it's like the movie poster for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep.
With Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
I know exactly the pose you're talking about.
Yeah. And she's like, "Hello, darling."
And Rava goes, she's like, "Sorry to barge in."
What is your fucking problem?
Well, my problem is that you decided to barricade this door when
It's my room.
it's not your ship.
I paid for the room, as you paid for yours.
And guess what? When you leave this ship, it's gonna be someone else's room one day, and it's not just yours.
You have funny notions about the ideas of privacy.
Oh, privacy doesn't exist.
What do you want?
Well, you see, I just have a couple questions, and just by your behavior, I've kind of already decided your guilt in the situation. So, do you have, any... Are you aware of any of the, mischief that has been going on this ship, like cutting the anchor, ruining the lifeboats, which I should say is very dangerous, because if we were to all die, we would die on this ship.
I can swim.
Yes, and so can I. You're not special.
It's good. she looks at you and just bares her teeth a little.
My money's on the water, Ganazi.
So she's just like defensively standing there and looks at you both just glaring.
So this is where Aoife...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
This is where Aoife, like, lifts her skirt a little bit and shows there in her garter belt that she's got her short sword. And she's like,
yes.
So, we need you to come with us.
I would like you to make an intimidation check with advantage, because Rava is right there. I assume flexing again.
Oh, yeah.
I just assume.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just her thing now.
Oh, bitch, yes, is another dirty 20.
Nice. You see her. All right, we're gonna roll. Ooh, yeah. She rolled low. Roll for seduction. No. She droops a bit. She is not relaxed by any means, but she sees the two of you and she sees the weapon, and you can see on her that she is not armed. This is again a passenger boat ship, so most people when they're in their rooms are not armed. So she kind of looks to the side at the chest that contains belongings, and it looks like she might be considering it for just a moment, and then the two of you just kind of puff up just a little.
Yeah, Aoife does this, like, whole comedic, like, brow raise, and is like, really?
I should have known that boy couldn't keep his mouth shut. Fine. Take me to the captain.
That's where we're going.
Lead the way.
Oh no, you're going first. Goes and grabs her by the shoulder.
All right. I would like you to make a strength check, or for you, it'd be an athletics check. Oh yeah. If you roll decent, you'll succeed.
21.
Yeah, that's more than enough. She rolled a 7. She tries to squirm out of your grasp, but is not able to. So you begin effectively marching her up the stairs from the passenger quarters to the captain's quarters as well, where you will see Gamros and Threll. What are you two doing?
I'm in the room.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Wow. That fast, I forgot. So, yeah, you guys are still in the room. It's a lot to keep track of.
No, the girls have already tackled 2.
Yeah, you guys have taken care of 2 of them.
So do we hear them walking through the halls?
I would assume so, because Nisa is not quiet. She is not like Dorena.
Well,
she
Threll
is
left
swearing.
the room.
Yeah, Threll. It's almost like as you exit, they are also exiting. And so you see these 2 ladies that you saw in the galley before flanking this blue dragonborn. And she is swearing at the top of her lungs and is just not happy.
Aoife takes her palm and literally bops her in the side of the head and is just like, shut up!
She hisses.
You're giving me a headache.
I already have one.
Have they noticed me coming down the hall yet? Have they seen me?
I would assume so. It's a straight shot.
So I kind of adjust my hat on top of my head, and I look like the captain now.
Yep. So I'll say for you guys, because you are distracted, what are your passive perceptions?
Let me check.
Aoife's is 15.
15.
Rava's is 16.
Okay, so yeah, you both notice that the half-orc walks out of a room, tugs on his the brim of his cap, and changes appearance into the captain.
Raven in her head is literally, I don't feel like questioning it.
That's not the weirdest thing I've seen all day. It's fine.
Yeah, Aoife is like, she even mumbles like, I hope this doesn't fuck everything up.
Nisa looks at this and just kind of like this curling smile, and are you bringing me to the captain or to the captain?
Oh, we're bringing you to the captain.
Good. And she'll march right past Threll.
All right. Threll knocks on the door of the room that Gamros and the half-elf are in.
Gamros, you hear a knock.
Who's there?
I'll say it's the captain in a female voice.
Okay.
Irish voice that I can't do.
Now I will say, you don't have the like, you're only level 1, so you don't have the actor feat. Now
No.
does your hat grant you the voice as well?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me look.
But so if it doesn't, you're doing an impression. Gamros, I would like you to make an insight check, please.
It actually says physical characteristics, age, gender, skin, hair color, and voice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
roll high.
All right. 18.
18. Seems like a different cadence, but it sounds like the captain.
Okay. Okay. I just sent Threll to come find you, but is Threll with you? Never mind. You're the captain. Come in. Come in. Sorry, my bad manners. So I open the door.
Okay. You see the captain standing in front of you.
So I enter. I make eye contact with Gamros, and I'm like,
Is something wrong?
The captain kind of goes like this, and like, I didn't sign up for this shit.
Oh, okay. Just wait. Can I roll insight to see if I
Yes.
pick up on that?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
No, I most definitely do not.
Well, Durana didn't
solid
either. So.
6.
Yeah.
So, Captain, I sent Thrall to go find you, but I guess I can. Did he find you?
Yes, as you can tell.
Okay. Then you know what's going on. What we think this woman's done, correct?
What has this one claimed to have done, or what do you claim she has done?
If Thrall found you, he should have. Okay, maybe
just
Thrall's
said-
not so smart. Anyways, I found
Shade.
some evidence by a life bolt with gray hair and a limpy walk, and the feet are about the same size as this woman. So I think she may have had something to do with the light boats being sabotaged.
And I make eye contact with the girl, and I say, "What say you to these charges?"
All right. She looks at you up and down. She did not roll high enough to see through the disguise. And she just kind of... Yes. Yes. Fine. We did it. We were sent by Roscoe Shippens to sabotage your ship. I am sorry. Didn't mean
And
for it to
there
go that far.
And there were others with you?
Indeed.
Names.
I would like you to make a persuasion check with advantage, please. She does not want to give you that name.
11.
Okay. She folds her arms and says, I will not give out the names of my compatriots. I will accept full responsibility for what was done.
All right. So Gamros is going to cause a small gust of wind to come up all along, sort of like shimmer through his trench coat. And he's going to walk up to her and say, one person should not do the crime or pay for the crimes of many. It's like a friendly intimidation because he just really believes that she shouldn't take the fall when others were also to blame.
Okay. All right, roll it.
Oh, hot damn. It is lucky 13.
Okay. Yep, you just beat her.
Yes.
She sighs. Do you promise that you'll show them a little bit of leniency? They're children.
Why are children... Captain, this is your business, not mine. Sorry, not my place to say anything. And I sort of stand away to...
Okay. As this is happening, Eudora, what was your earlier perception check?
15.
15. Let me see here. Ooh, no bueno. While you are down there, you spot something. A bit of movement around a couple of the crates. I'm actually going to roll for Eris and see if he sees it as well. Oh, he is human, so he does not have dark vision. It is dark down here. Did you light anything? Or are you sitting in the dark?
Probably like a candle if it's available.
Okay.
I probably would have lit it.
Well, he still rolled a 3, so he doesn't see shit. He's still crying. like quietly now. He is slightly comforted now that the scary person is no longer next to him. Oh, Sassy, we'll see you later. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Bye, Sassy.
Bye, Sassy.
Bye, Sassy.
So you
See you, Sassy.
You see a very small shape, kind of darting in between barrels and crates, and yeah, that's about all you can make out. It's just this very small shape, very quickly darting between. Looks like it's trying not to be seen. And
Does it look humanoid or like?
yes, it looks humanoid, but very small. And so that is where we are going to take our break with that revelation. So we're going to take a short break for some of us to get some food and to give you all a chance to enter into our giveaways. We have 2 giveaways tonight.
We do.
Well, we have a single giveaway, 2 prizes. So 2 people will be chosen. And the way this is going to work, basically, is we would like you to enter the code word that you're going to see on the screen here in just a second.
What's the code word?
There it is. The code word
enter.
tonight is Destiny. You cannot enter. The code word tonight is Destiny. It is not case sensitive, but you can only enter it once. The giveaway rules are in the chat right now. Enter the code word on the screen 1 time. Uno, singular, 1 time, lowercase letters. Any more than that, you will be disqualified. The giveaway will run from now until right before the end of the stream. We will choose 2 people. 1 person will win a set of Mark, aka ice cream dice.
Let's see if it shows up.
Yeah, so you'll win a set of your favorite dice. They are beautiful. Yeah, they're lovely. Would you like to say anything more about them, Mark, real quick?
So no, because my dice are like Trello, where I can just talk forever.
Yeah,
because they're beautiful and underestimated.
Call out, Paul.
yeah. Do not eat them. They look edible. They're not. They're not
You
candy.
can't eat
They look like they should taste like chocolate, but they taste much like another thing that's brown.
Oh, weird production issues. But yes, so these are the tester sets, correct? This is a tester set?
Yeah. So these are all the sample sets.
Yep.
That I've been given out. They're a lovely swirled dark brown, light brown with nice white numbers, so they are high contrast and easy to read and roll like a dream.
Yeah. So as we go along in this campaign and get closer to the Kickstarter date, we'll have more information on Mark's Kickstarter. But if you follow us on Twitter, you already know all about it. The other thing that we are giving away is this absolutely lovely dice bag, and I'm going to throw up a picture here on the screen. It is handmade, and I had the name. Hannah, what was the name?
Oh boy.
Yep.
Hold on.
I'm calling you
Hold
out.
on. Hold on.
I had it written down, and then I navigated away from it.
Wait.
It's okay. It's
Etsy's loading.
I think it's is it Cat Creations? Something like that. Yeah, we're gonna pull it up. Kim Creating. At Kim Creating on Twitter.
Yes.
The
creatings with a K.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, you will get the dice bag, but you can choose the colors that it is handmade in. So our winner, I will contact you because I'm going to be sponsoring this particular giveaway. So I will contact you, and we'll go back and forth. You tell me what colors you want. You give me your shipping address. I will pay for it, and it will be shipped to you once it is finished. We are trying to support small businesses and creators. So this is one of many giveaways where we will be doing that.
Yes. And I do have to say that I have a friend who has one by this artist in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Very cool. Okay, so the code word is Destiny. And yeah, just enter that into the chat. And here's another example of the dice bag, by the way. So those are just samples of the colors that you can get. I'm just throwing them up on the screen real fast because I have to go eat. So yeah.
Yes, get the num.
Yeah. Anyway, enter it. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. have everybody enter. We will select people towards the end of the stream. And we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't go nowhere. Unless it's to the bathroom and then right back. So, see you
Or
in
to
a
get some
bit.
food.
Or, well, yeah, I guess.
Yes.
You can have food, I suppose. All right.
It's acceptable.
We'll see you in a bit. And we are back. We were showing each other our pets. You guys missed it. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. We're just going to dive right back into it. So, Eudora, you're down here with someone who does not want to be seen down below decks. You are currently keeping Eris company, keeping an eye on him for the captain.
Okay. So Eudora's gonna quickly get up from the crate that she was sitting on, and she's just gonna bring her hands up like this and just, hey, come out here.
Okay. Make sure. I'm gonna turn the code word off so that that's not
You
distracting
tell
people.
him, Eudora.
Yeah. And how will he respond? Let's find out. Okay. So a figure comes out from between two crates and kind of saunters forward. Well, maybe saunters isn't the right word. It's not quite a saunter. It's a little bit of a swagger, almost. Like he is very confident, and it is a halfling, and this halfling is dressed completely in black leather armor, and he's very young looking, even for a halfling. Halflings tend to have young looking faces, but this guy definitely seems to be younger than middle age. So probably for a halfling, maybe no more than 50 years old. And as he comes towards you, you can see he's quite a handsome fellow, but he has a scar that runs across the top of his head that didn't quite heal right. So it's got a little bit of a jagged mark across his brow. He has sandy brown hair that is pulled back underneath this hood. You imagine it's either in like a ponytail or a bun under his dark hood that he has over his face. And the hood is pushed back very slightly. And as he approaches, again, he looks very confident. Like he is supposed to be here. And as he approaches you, well, what are you doing down here?
The captain sent me down here to watch Mr. Eris here. What are you doing down here?
Oh, the captain sent me down here.
Who are you?
My name is Nathaniel Stonecutter.
Nathaniel Stonecutter. I haven't heard of you.
Well, I am insulted. You should have heard of me. Everyone's heard of me.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. You know, I don't mean any offense, but I swear on my life I have not heard your name. Not once. Can you please enlighten me?
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, why would the captain send you down here? What is your business down here?
Oh, I take care of the supplies. I'm the quartermaster, you see. I was checking the crates. Making sure everything is tip-top, as it were.
Okay. You have no business with this prisoner, right?
None whatsoever. And he kind of looks past you to Eris, and Eris, like, he's interested that there's someone new, but he has stopped crying at this point, finally. He is out of tears. He's just dehydrated. But he is definitely still occasionally, like, still sniffling a little. And he's just kind of keeping watch and just seems interested. And the halfling gentleman, Nathaniel,
I can't help but notice that you are a very striking individual.
Striking.
Indeed. I don't believe I've ever seen a tiefling of, forgive me, of your variety before.
Variety?
Yes, are orange tieflings common where you're from?
Not that I know of. I was the only
No, you cut out there.
I was the only tiefling in my town, but
So,
I guess I may be an anomaly.
so not so common. That okay. I mean, I consider myself a well-traveled individual, and I've just never seen someone quite like you. You're quite beautiful. I like your
Matt, you
horns.
flatter me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you.
Very much like
And
your
then
horns.
Eudora just kind of takes a step back to sit back on the crate, but she's kind of facing this guy and just watching him as they're conversating.
Okay. And he also kind of relaxes a little bit and is just kind of hanging out. And do you want to continue the conversation? He's kind of looking at you with interest.
Well, don't you have a job to get back to, Mr. Quartermaster?
Indeed I do. And he kind of flourishes a bow. And I'm sorry, I did not catch your name.
Oh, Eudora Damager.
Eudora. Lovely name for a lovely lady. I bid you a fond farewell. And I would like you to make another perception check as Nathaniel turns to leave.
Okay. Not bad. That's a 23.
23. Okay. You notice as he turns around his cloak that he's wearing, it's kind of like a half cape almost, but it swishes a little, and you see inside of a pocket a small silver cube that he very quickly pulls the cloak and hides, and he continues walking away from you.
Okay, Eudora's just hawk-eyeing. She's keeping an eye out for Nathaniel, but she's not gonna stop him right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So he actually does not continue inspecting the crates, quote unquote. He will go out of the cargo hold and up to the main deck. While that is happening, the rest of you, what are you doing?
Well, Aoife would be working on delivering with Reva the Dragonborn, and then probably heading down to with Eudora with the next prisoner.
Okay. So you drop off Nisa with the captain, and Nisa is not happy, to say the least, about how things have gone, but she does tell the captain about how things transpired. Myself and my companions were hired by, well, not really hired. We were asked by Father Roscoe to board your ship and to mildly sabotage it. Not sink it, just enough to make the passengers wary. To be honest, the sickness that has taken over this ship has probably done our work for us. What we did may have just been extraneous. And at this point, the captain kind of interjects, and Well, you didn't do a very good job of sabotaging. We're still on our way. Yes, I'm not exactly skilled in these matters. But I was asked to do something, and I did it. And I will say that she will also note, oh, by the way, there is someone who looks a lot like you in the passenger quarters. Might want to look into that. And the captain looks a little confused.
Eva looks at the captain and is just like, dismiss that. I will explain later.
Okay. Fine.
Now,
do what you will.
We'll take this one down below.
And the captain nods. You're doing me a right service. I'll make sure that you're reimbursed for your passage, as in addition to the coin I was gonna pay you. If you wouldn't mind taking her down as well.
Oh yes, we're going.
She mentioned another. Do you happen to know where that one is?
I think my two friends are handling that.
Fair enough. And she gestures, and she actually, for Nisa, she will provide a pair of manacles to put on her. She does not trust this dragonborn angry woman.
Eva has fun putting those on.
You get growled at a lot.
And
I imagine you put them on
Eva
too
growls back. She's like,
okay.
Arr!
I would like you to roll to growl.
It's a growl off.
It's a growl off. All right, she rolled a
What
16.
do you want me to roll
just
for
just
that?
A straight D20.
Okay.
She rolled a 16. She's growling good.
She rolled a 15.
Oh, it's close. It's close, but it seems like she may have more practice than you, or maybe her vocal cords are a little more attuned to this type of sound.
Because I'm just a half elf.
Yeah. But the captain notices, and she gives you an approving nod. Like, it's pretty good. Yeah, you match her in ferocity, and once you two are finished growling at each other, you leave down below decks.
Eudora, darling.
Before you, as you're coming down, you almost run into a handsome halfling gentleman who is very hurriedly making his way from below decks up onto the main deck.
Oh, excuse you.
My apologies, ma'am. And he bows and kind of gestures for you to walk past him. He makes way.
Where are you going in such a hurry?
Oh, I'm headed to my quarters. My wife, you see, is one of the ones who is very ill, and I need to be with her. I was down. I'll confess, I was down here looking for some extra rations for her. I feel like some more food might help.
Of course.
Thank you. Please don't tell the captain.
Well then.
I will say, for two of you, what is your passive insight?
Ooh, passive insight, 13.
Mine's a 16.
Okay, so it's not passive perception, passive insight.
No,
okay. Yeah, he didn't roll well. He is lying his ass off.
Can both of them tell this, or
yes,
just Raven?
You both immediately pick up on it.
So,
and he definitely seems like a practiced liar, but he's not putting a lot of effort into this. It seems like he's underestimating you and how much of a deception he needs to put on.
So Eva kind of deliberately stands to take up the entire stairwell. And she's like, actually, we need to go back down there. You need to write off the rations. Otherwise, you might get bored.
Do you think that's necessary?
Oh, I do. I work for the captain.
Well, that puts us in a bit of a pickle, then, doesn't it? And I would like you to make a... Actually, I'd like both of you to make an acrobatics or athletics saving... Or a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Strength or dexterity saving throw?
You ever do.
That is 16.
So, okay.
Oh, saving throw? That's an
Yeah.
18. Sorry. 18
yeah.
dexterity for me.
I got a 12.
Okay, so you're both able to maintain your footing on the stairs as he attempts to trip both of you and push you down the stairs.
Can Aoife, move to, grab this short man?
With that dexterity saving throw, I will say you have the opportunity because he rolled real low. So I will say make an attack roll.
Okay.
As an unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike, okay.
Yeah.
Nat 20 plus 5, 25.
Critical success.
Yeah!
Woo! All right. Nicely done. Yeah, you grab this little fella. And do you, hoist him up?
Oh, she goes to pick him up like he's a little kid.
Yeah.
And holds him
he's
up.
super
His,
light. He is very light, and his feet are just kicking a mile a minute.
I think these manacles might be coming off of our dragon friend here to go on this one. He seems like a problem.
What is your AC?
Her AC is 16.
16. So you get kicked in the face by this little halfling fella as he very nimbly kind of jungle gyms his way, holds onto your arm and stretches out his leg and just full on plants his foot in your face. You will suffer 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god!
As his heel of his foot cracks into your head. And I would like you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Okay. Dirty 20.
You are able to hold on to him and keep your footing as well. So, Reva, you just saw this happen. This little halfling dude just kicked Aoife square in the face.
Reva goes, "What kind of manners do you have?" And she crosses her arms again, she looks like the angry right now.
Eudora, you hear this commotion, and you are free to come up as well.
Okay. Eudora just points at this kid, Eris.
Mm-hmm.
You wait right there. I don't want to see you moving. Okay, you stay right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go check on the commotion.
Down the stairs, carrying this guy in a rage.
Yeah. I imagine at this point you've got him you've got his arms pinned, kind of holding him at arm's length with his arms pinned to his sides.
And she's marching with a purpose, carrying him down there to go to the nearest pole, pulls out that hempen rope and is tying him to the pole.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on here?
What was that, Reva?
He just kicked me in the face!
Reva is scolding this guy.
I would like you to make an intimidation check. I would like for Aoife to make a dexterity check.
The girls are getting in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah,
That's gonna be an 18.
Okay.
For me, 17.
All right. So you managed to tie him up very nicely, and he settles down a bit, and just seems kind of resigned to his fate at this point, because now there are 3 of you. And like I say, it seems to have underestimated you at first, but Aoife, your forehead does have a small cut on it from where he kicked you, and it is bleeding a little. But it's 4 points of damage, which at level 1 is significant, but it's not life-threatening. But it hurts.
Yeah, that's why she's mad.
Yeah, he had a lot of strength behind that kick. So while this is all happening, Gamros and Threll,
You are engaged with Durena, Rel disguised as the captain.
We've essentially already coerced a confession out of her, correct? She admitted to.
Yep.
The only thing she didn't do was give up names.
That's correct.
And Gamros?
You made the right roll, and she agreed to give up the names as long as you promised that they would not be, that there would be leniency for them because they were young.
I can't. Well, I guess I am the captain, so
Yeah.
I promise leniency.
Fine. My compatriots are Eris Smith and May and Nisa, the Dragonborn girl. Right. We were sent here by oh, I'm sorry, Papa. We were sent here by Roscoe Shippens to sabotage the ship.
To what end?
Threll, you recognize this name because you are from here. You're from Amasa. Roscoe Shippens is the owner of Shippy's Ships and Sailing Shop. And it is a rival shipping company. And the Captain Trendell and Roscoe Shippens have been basically at war with one another over the shipping routes and passenger fares for the better part of 2 decades. It is an old rivalry. They are constantly trying to one-up one another. And this just is the latest in a long history of attempted sabotage and just dirty tactics, basically. This does seem a bit much for what they normally do. But again, it's been 20 years.
And I'll look at her and say, is that all your accomplices?
That's all of them. I mean, I know we took things too far, but sorry, but Shippy's the only family we have.
Indeed.
So is Roscoe your dad?
Adopted. He took us all in.
Huh. So, like, what does adopted mean?
Our parents were either dead or abandoned us, and Roscoe took us in.
Okay, community family. I get that.
Yes.
Sorry, we don't have a fancy word for it. We just call it taking care of our own.
Yes, well.
Sorry, Captain. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was just very curious about this word.
No problem. And at that, I kind of shift my hat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back into thrill mode.
What?
I look at
what the fuck?
She is visibly taken aback as well.
Holy shit!
I look at Gamros and I say, "Neat trick, eh?"
Yeah. Can you teach me?
Probably not. And I say, we got what we wanted. Let's take her to the real captain.
Yeah.
That's a dirty trick.
That wasn't dirty. That was kind of cool.
It's very dishonest.
Yeah, okay, a little. Well, he has a private eye, so he's likely to be dishonest from time to time.
So dishonesty is my middle name.
And
Threll dishonesty.
It is ironic that the attempted saboteur is calling you dishonest. So you guys take Durena to the captain, yes?
Correct.
Okay. As you're passing by, you hear a little bit of a commotion below decks on the stairs leading down to the cargo hold, and the captain is actually coming out of her quarters, and she looks at you, looks at Durena, and says, "Is this the third then?"
It would appear
Yeah.
so. She has confessed.
Well, I'd say take her below decks, but seems there's a bit of a problem going on down there. Let's go find out what it is.
Sure.
Okay. So you all head downstairs, and Durena she's not fighting, she's not resisting, she is resigned. There are much bigger and stronger people around her. She looks like she doesn't know what to do. You guys all go downstairs, and the captain leads the way. So the three ladies, you see the captain leading Gamros, Threll, and Durena down the steps. As you
They
are
walk
finishing,
up on Aoife,
as you are finishing tying up Nathaniel Stonecarver.
and Aoife's like, Reva, look at my head. Oh, look at my beautiful head. Fix it, Reva.
And Raven's just, Eva, come here, darling. I'll help you.
Eudora, he kicked me.
I'm so sorry. I thought he was more gentlemanly than that.
He's a liar.
And Reva will
All
cast
men are
Healing Word
liars.
on Aoife.
All right. So go ahead and roll that healing
Don't
word.
lie.
Alrighty. Let me get that. Alright, that's gonna be 4.
All right, so you get 4 HP back. So you're back to
That's
full.
making it.
So
Yep.
the wound closes up. There's still a little trickle of blood from where it was, but it's easily wiped away. And
Handkerchief.
yep, no worse for wear, but very angry.
Yeah.
And the halfling is kind of sitting against the support beam that you've tied him to, hands behind his back. Did you also tie his feet, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you tie him
And
sitting
his-
down or standing up?
Oh, she tied him sitting down.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
she did his mouth too, like around the head to the pole.
Mhm. Okay.
Yep.
So the captain will come down, and she'll look around. She'll see the three saboteurs, and all right. Seems that we've got a bit more going on than I thought originally. Who among the three of you speaks for you? And Durena will push ahead of Nisa a bit. I'll speak. And the two of them very quickly and quietly discuss why the three of them are here, what they were told to do, and who sent them. The captain will turn to the rest of you and say, "Did any of these three hurt you?"
Not any of those
No.
three.
Nisa, at this point, "She hurt me." And
All
will
I
point to
did
her
was...
snout.
You were blocking the door. All I did was hip check it. Please.
I'll sue.
Oh, really?
Reva rolls her eyes.
And the captain just kind of puts up a hand, and Nisa falls silent again. And Threll, you can see that now you're a little closer to Nisa. She is definitely in the molting stages, where little flakes of blue scales are kind of coming off in patches. She looks pretty ragged, honestly. All three of them, except, so Eris, as I said before, is a bit rotund. He looks well cared for, but the other two look almost malnourished. They definitely do not look like they eat regularly. And the captain converses with the three of them. I'm not going to sit here and RP with myself, but that also sounds dirty. You got to pay for those kinds of streams. And they will come to the conclusion that she will not press charges against them. She will not take them to the guards once they reach Amasa. But they will report back to Shippy that the sabotage was successful and that people do not want to take rides with Captain Trendell anymore.
Can we hear this discussion?
Oh yeah, yep, it's all out in the open.
Yeah, so Aoife definitely cuts in. She's like, "Do you really trust them?"
No, of course not. It's a thing between the two of us. It's long standing.
Okay.
Why?
He's a dick. I am a successful
yeah,
businesswoman.
Okay. All right, I understand.
He wants to drive my business out so he can keep it all for himself.
It sounds like this is slowly escalating. You might want to be careful.
I'll be hiring some more guards. Hold on a second. And she turns back to the three of them and asks if any of them know what the deal is with the illness on board. And the three of them say that they do not. That was not something that they were involved in. And you all can make insight checks if you would like to see whether you think they're telling the truth.
Insight.
19?
Got a 14.
14?
12.
12?
I got a nat 1.
Oh, critical failure.
So, fail.
Critical failure.
Okay, so for that nat 1, we are going to roll on the fail scale, which, how we're going to do this for an insight, we'll figure that out. So would you like me to roll that, or do you want to?
You can roll it.
Alright, so I'm going to roll a D percentile. So the way this works, we're borrowing this from Almost Heroic, the goddamn DM Patrick Tracy. Essentially, when someone rolls a nat 1, we roll on the fail scale, and so from 1 to 50 is it's just a regular failure, nothing detrimental. From 51 to 75 is a detrimental failure. 76 to 91, or to 90 is a catastrophic failure, and from 91 to 100 is a potentially deadly failure. Okay, not bad. That's a 37. So you're fine.
Okay.
You just don't see shit. Everybody seems as honest as the day they were born. Everybody seems on the up and up. The rest of you, anybody who rolled over a 10, these, and all three of them, you realize, because the half-elf, even though she looks to probably be in her early to mid-30s, she's still a kid. Like, as you're watching their mannerisms, she does not behave as an adult would. She still has the mannerisms and way of speaking and just general air of a child. They all do. And they are not good at hiding their intentions, and none of them seem to have any idea about why people are sick on this boat. So, the captain...
Aoife turns her sights on the halfling now.
He looks up at you and...
She's
you
just
gagged him.
watching him.
He just shrugs. Captain will then turn to the three of you, the three ladies who tied this man up. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, who the fuck is this?
Well, he...
Captain, he told me quartermaster.
That's not what he told me.
This is not my quartermaster.
What did he tell you?
He told me that his wife was sick and he was trying to steal rations for her. Very poor.
Oh,
And
how
then
dirty.
He tried to trick me and Rava, and he failed at that, so I picked him up and then he kicked me in the head.
So Thrill
you
kind
can
of rolls up
see
his
his
sleeve.
shoulders shaking at this point. Like, he is laughing silently, but he is enjoying this.
I'm gonna pick his pockets.
Rava goes,
All right.
this tiny man is a scoundrel.
Okay.
We're gonna pat him down.
Threll, what were you doing?
I was going to kind of roll up my sleeve, and I got a wrist crossbow in my hand. I kind of cock it and aim it at him.
All right. I would like you to make an intimidation check. I would say with advantage. While Aoife, you are investigating the contents of the halfling's pockets.
Down. Yep.
Is anyone helping you?
Rava will.
Okay.
Yeah, waves her girls over.
Yeah.
All right, so I will say make an investigation check with advantage. You're going to find stuff. This is going to see how quickly and how much you find.
Okay.
Because he is not able to resist. So you're going to find stuff.
A 13 with advantage.
A 13 with advantage. That is enough. He didn't expect to be caught. So in his pockets, and there are many of them inside of this cloak, they're all sewn in. It doesn't appear to be magical in nature. It's just a well-made cape. Like I said before, it's kind of like a half cloak, but it has little holes for sleeves, so it can be worn almost like a poncho. And within these pockets, you find 2 coin purses, one of which contains 50 gold pieces, and the other contains gemstones. And these are beautifully cut, crystal clear gemstones of varying sizes and colors. You would need to have them appraised to really know how much they're worth, but by the weight and amount of them, it is probably a substantial amount. The other thing you find while investigating in one of these pockets is a silver, almost gray cube. It's probably about 6 inches on each side, and it is completely nondescript and doesn't appear to be anything special necessarily. But when you take that out, his eyes go wide, and then you see him kind of just steel himself again, and he just looks sullen, like a kid who just had his favorite toy taken away. And
Aoife, I'm gonna tell you, she probably takes that cube, like she's interested in the money and like puts those like in her lap, but takes the cube and hands it off to like Rava almost immediately because it's like this isn't up her alley. She's gonna hand it to Rava.
Okay.
And Rava takes it. Can Rava make an Arcana check?
Yes, you can.
All right, that's gonna be a nat 20.
Oh, nicely done.
Critical
nicely
success.
Done. Yes, I was really hoping for a good roll on this.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where, like, as a DM, you're not supposed to put important plot information behind too high of a difficulty check. But a good check on this is more fun. So this cube is an incredibly well-made and highly advanced magical item. It is essentially a pocket dimension that is built into this cube. And with that Arcana check, I will say you spend a couple of minutes with it. Yeah, it's kind of like a Hellraiser cube. No, it's not like that. I promise. But you spend a couple minutes with it, and you think you figure out how to enter it. You have to place 3 fingers on different sides of the cube in a very particular pattern. So it is up to you whether or not you choose to activate it. But you know how. You're pretty sure you know how.
Before Rava does anything, she's going to consult her pals, because I don't think that's something that just go on in. And she's gonna look at the group, glare at the halfling and Nathaniel.
Yeah, he is looking at that cube, has not taken his eyes off it.
She's going to kind of like step in front of him and turn her back, so her back is facing him, and she has the cube in front of her, so he can't see it.
He can't really move, but he's trying to shift and look around you.
And she goes, "This is a very very powerful cube. I think I know how to work it, but I would not want to do so without letting everybody else in the room know about it first.
I don't know if we should open it now. Maybe we could ask him about it.
And she turns and looks at him.
And as you look at him, you see that the captain has made her way over to him and is in the process of removing the gag to question him. And she glances over and sees the cube, and seems interested, but she's not quite sure necessarily what it is. And she begins to question him. Who are you? What are you doing down here? And again, I don't really want to role play with myself, so I'm going to just have both of them roll. She is going to make an intimidation check with advantage because she has all of you with her. He is going to make his check at disadvantage. All right.
Does Thrall still have the crossbow? Or did he put that down?
It's still there, but it was a 3 and a 1.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, even with those low rolls, he is still, he can't move, and he definitely looks like he would rather be anywhere else right now, as long as he has that cube with him. But the captain is able to get him to finally fess up about who he is. His name is actually Corvus Woodmaker. Corvis Woodmaker. And he was hired by someone, he never got a name, but they gave him a lot of money and a lot of gemstones. And he also, you notice, as the captain is questioning him, and you would have noticed going through his pockets, that he is clad in Tenacian garb, the garb of the city of Tenassus, the city-state. And they look brand new. The clothes that he's wearing under his leather armor. I would like anyone who cares to make an intelligence check, please.
All right.
Once you see this.
I care.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you would. It's a mystery.
I got a 13.
13. Okay.
Fuck. 7.
Okay.
Damn it. Damn Chessex.
Anybody else? Intelligence check? Mark, you're muted.
We still can't hear you, bud.
Yeah.
Did you try plugging it back in?
Yeah. Unplug it, plug it back in. Classic IT. Alright, so Aoife, Eudora, and Riva, did you make your intelligence checks?
Yeah, I got 13.
13, yeah.
Yeah, Aoife rolled the same thing as Thrall.
Okay. And Eudora?
Yeah, Eudora's not wrong.
Okay. Alright. I was... yes?
14.
14.
Woohoo!
Okay. I will say between all of you, you kind of piece together that the fact that he's wearing colors for what is according to the captain and her interrogation of him, it was a thieving mission. He was sent to steal something. The fact that he is wearing colors underneath his armor, and such bright colors, is a little weird. The fact that they are brand new is also weird. There is a history between Tenassus and Odoja, the two warring city-states further to the west of Amasa. There's a history of attempted sabotage and subterfuge between those two as well, and one of their preferred methods
is to hire assassins and thieves and clothe them in the enemy's colors to make it seem as though the murder or the theft originated from the other city. So it's essentially to throw off someone's trail. But the fact, again, that these are brand new, and this speaks to someone who is not necessarily experienced with this, and when asked about it, Orvis will simply say that it wasn't him who bought the clothes. They were given to him. He was told what to do. He's already been paid. And whether his mission is completed or not, he is strongly considering retirement. Because obviously he's losing his touch.
He hasn't been paid anymore.
All right.
You don't think that that's the only place I would keep my funds, do you?
Where are they? I'll strip search you.
I'm not telling you. You can strip search me all you want.
Just narrows eyes.
The captain is like, there's no need for that. He's not going to be able to access his funds anyway. He's going to be turned over to the guard soon as we get to Amasa. So what were you saying?
Did you make that box?
No, I didn't. I stole this box from that crate over there. And you look and you see the crate that he's pointing at. It's one of the ones that is marked rations. And as he points to that particular crate, I would like all of you who are again involved in the conversation and paying attention to make insight checks.
Insight.
13.
Okay.
10.
17.
Nice.
Woo!
8.
The rest of you don't see much. Who got the 17?
Rava.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I was looking down when you spoke, and sometimes you and Amber sound alike. Sometimes. So, Rava, you see the captain's face. Kind of, her mouth just forms a line when she sees the crate that he is pointing to. And she swiftly looks back at him. Who hired you? And he's, I honestly don't know. And she leans down and just decks him in the face. He is going to take some damage.
My money's on the captain.
So he takes
So,
five points of damage.
As she goes to swing at him, can I intervene?
Mm-hmm. I'll say make a dexterity saving throw.
That is a solid 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, you do. You manage to intervene.
So I grab her arm.
Mm-hmm.
I put it down nicely, like no, not violent. And I look at her and I say, "This is that deliverable thing, isn't it?" And received.
You see her like visibly, her eyes widen, and she kind of is taken aback. How do you know about that?
Well, doesn't matter how I know.
Oh,
but you shouldn't write.
It definitely does.
Well, then don't leave your books in your office open.
They're my books. It's my office.
Yeah.
Girls, maybe we should
So,
consider getting out of here.
What else do you have in that crate?
Move.
I'm not with him.
You're all together now.
They're not with me. I've never met them before today.
She's not paying attention.
Oh, good. Okay, so then if she's not paying attention, then I'm walking over to the crate and I'm just going to start rifling through it.
So as you do, she's going to follow you. She's not stupid. You're much larger than she is. Well, not much actually. She's pretty beefy, but she's not going to try to stop you. She's curious too, and she will kind of quietly say to you, "I didn't know what was in the box. It was just paid for and put in a chest, and I put the chest in the crate, and I put that box in another box."
Aoife is just like looking at her companions and is like,
So it sounds like we've got a interesting little mystery here because you're carrying things that you don't know what they are. Well,
Sometimes, when you run a ship...
wait,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Sometimes when you run a ship, you're paid to deliver things that you're not given the specifics of. This was simply a chest that I was to deliver to Port Amasa. I didn't know what was in it. I still don't know what the bloody thing is.
Hmm.
And she'll reach in
Gamros
and she'll
can't
pull out the
process
chest.
this.
She will pull out the chest that it was in. It's a very small, simple looking wooden chest, but the lock has very clearly been broken on it. And as she opens it, you can see that it is lead lined inside. And this is a common practice to prevent any kind of identifying magic or divination magic to be cast to find it. So whoever sent the halfling knew what they were after. That's pretty easy to determine. And it is, as she picks up the chest, that Reva, you are still holding the box, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
All right. Okay. That's a 10.
That's not going to be enough. You feel, as you're holding it in your hand, a halfling hand that has slipped free of its bonds while everyone else has been distracted, reach around you and press the box in exactly the 3 places where it needs to be pressed. And all of you, including the captain, feel this sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. I would like everyone to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh,
Alright, boy.
Yeah, he makes it.
No!
Oh, does the captain? That's...
I got a 16.
Okay.
12.
14.
Okay. Bro, you're muted.
12.
12. Okay, so everybody that got above a 10 is able to not vomit immediately upon landing. But you feel as though you have been squeezed through a tube. And everything's dark for a brief moment, and then you open your eyes, and all around you, the sun is shining. You can hear birds chirping. You are standing in the middle of a lush, green, not quite jungle, but definitely a dense forest. And a dense forest is kind of laid out ahead of you. But where you're standing is in the middle of a clearing. And in this clearing is a very large, crystal clear pond that you can see hundreds upon hundreds of fish, very large fish, swimming through. And as you all kind of look around and gather yourselves, you realize that every single person that was in that cargo hold is here, including the 3 would-be saboteurs, and they look scared shitless.
Can Aoife tackle the halfling? Like now?
Yeah, I would say we'll call this an athletics check. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, he failed.
That is a 15.
15. You tackle him to the ground.
Oh, she punches him.
Oh yeah. I will say, yeah, you're holding on to him. He's prone. He can't move. So I will just say roll your damage and add yours. So an unarmed strike, essentially.
Yeah, her unarmed strike is an automatic 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Or bludgeoning.
He is now unconscious. Or no, the captain did not hit him. So no, he is still up, but he looks. He now has a bloody nose, and like is just looking dazed up at you. Oh.
And she's like, "Where are we?"
I have not the faintest idea.
Why did you do that then?
Well, no, you all were arguing. Nothing was happening. I wanted to see what would happen.
You idiot!
Some people say yes.
Where are we?
I don't know. It's quite lovely. And as you look up and look around, you can see that it looks like a natural environment, but it is not. This place is relatively small. The forest, which at first glance seems to stretch on for miles, only really stretches for probably maybe a quarter of a mile, and then it abruptly ends. And you can see in every direction that the landscape just ends. You are basically within a cube, and as you're looking around, you hear off in the distance, but definitely growing closer, some very large footfalls, and you hear a roar that is tree shaking in its enormity. And you hear a very low, guttural voice just scream out, "I will not be taken again!" And coming through the trees, you see, with golden scales, wings manacled together, a looks like iron, but glowing, a glowing iron collar around its long serpentine neck. You see a golden dragon. I will have each of you make nature checks, please.
Okay.
Session 1. Let's do it right.
17?
17, okay.
Nature.
That is a sweet, sweet nat 1.
Ooh.
Ariva got a 16.
Critical failure.
16, okay.
Dirty 20 for thrill.
All right.
Okay, so I rolled a nat 1. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And again.
Critical failure.
All right.
At least I'm not alone in this
Nope,
one.
you're not alone. All right, so I'm not going to roll a fail scale because, again, it's just it's fine. The two of you, that looks like a real big lizard. Not sure what that is. That's weird. Weird to see a lizard with wings. It's odd. But the rest of you, you see this golden dragon, and you can tell that this is a young golden dragon. It has not reached adulthood. And the voice that you heard, you realize, wasn't audible. You heard it in your head. And as the dragon gets closer, its size definitely, the shock of seeing a dragon wears off, and you see that it is much smaller than it first appeared. This dragon is probably, I would say it's probably the size of like a bison or a buffalo. It is, as dragons go, it is tiny. This is not much older than a baby, not much older than a hatchling. And as it approaches, oh, go ahead.
Is it safe to say that Reva is not holding the cube anymore?
Surprisingly, you are.
Oh, okay.
But the cube, instead of being a dull silvery gray, is now a vibrant bluish color. It's not quite glowing, but it's so bright that it almost is glowing.
Right.
But it still feels like it has the same weight. It still has the same texture. It's just a different color.
Okay.
And as this dragon charges forth, it kind of runs up and sees all of you and skids to a halt. And you can see the captain. She's trying to hold her ground, but she's wary. I mean, it's a fucking dragon. The three would-be saboteurs have taken off running as fast as they can. They get about 100 feet before they hit the wall. And you can see them like trying to make their way along the wall to try to find an exit.
I rolled real low for them. And as the dragon comes up, again, you can see that its wings are manacled to its body. It cannot fly. There is a glowing iron collar around its neck. And I'm gonna find it. Sorry, my notes got. Yep, there we go. So she comes up to you. Truman Show. No.
So
yeah.
Eva probably slowly got up from the
Mhm.
ground, but like is still kind of like staying, like she's ready to like make any quick decision. And she like looking at the dragon, but says to Reva, she's like, "Do you think that thing, if you do the thing that you think you're supposed to do you think it could get us out of here?"
And Reva, she just looks at Aoife and she goes, I can try. Do you want me to?
I kind of don't want to die in a tube.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll have you make an
yeah.
Arcana check, please.
All right.
As you guys are talking, you hear audibly this time a voice come from the dragon, and it's much lighter, and it sounds confused. You don't look like them.
Well, whoever they are, I don't think they look like me.
You don't look like anyone I've seen.
No, we just got here.
I can see that.
Well, then why are you surprised that you haven't seen us before?
Because I didn't see you before.
Who's them?
I'm sorry. I'm going to talk to someone else.
Okay.
And the dragon kind of turns its head and just starts scanning for someone. And its eyes actually fall on Nisa. You look kind of like me. And Nisa is just like clawing at the wall, trying to get away. She is not paying attention to the dragon. Okay, that's unfortunate. Excuse me. And she is now addressing the group, and you can tell from the voice that this is a female dragon. And she addresses the group and says, "Can any of you get me out of here?"
Why would we do that? You're probably in here for a reason.
That's fair. There probably is a reason. I don't know what it would be. I've been here for a very long time. Actually, I don't really remember being anywhere else, so maybe I've always been here. I feel that I should introduce myself. My name is Argonastivius Demosilius. I am the Shimmering Star. That was the name I was given by my parents. Don't ask me how I know that, I just do.
Are they here?
No, I've looked for them everywhere. This place is very small.
Are you adopted?
I don't know what that word means.
I didn't either till today. It means that other people raised you because your parents died.
If you call sticking me in this place and then leaving me adopted or raising me, then sure. Is that what you mean?
I don't think that's what they mean. I don't think so.
Then no. And the dragon has been speaking common up to this point, but she kind of thinks for a second and then says a word in Draconic. Does anyone speak Draconic?
That.
Okay.
I know that.
All right. You hear the word kidnapped.
Kidnapping? And she like says that out loud in common, like a translation.
And you see the dragon kind of nod. Yes, so that is the word.
You were taken against your will.
Yes, I was taken.
I'm sorry.
I was very young.
Do you know who took you.
Hmm.
Do you know who they were?
It has been
What
a
they
long
looked
time.
like?
There was one who looked like me, but, well, more like that one, and extends a claw toward Nisa.
Okay.
There was one that looked like you, and points toward Threll. And the other I did not see. I heard a
Did you-
voice.
What did the voice sound like?
What is the word? Pompous.
Oh.
Arrogant.
Oh.
Well, that could be anyone.
And at this point, the captain has regained her composure, and she says, she like walks forward and bows, and do you know why you were taken? No, only that the pompous man mentioned a weapon, making me a weapon, but I know not for what.
What did their garb look like? Did you see any colors or anything in particular? Any symbols?
On the two that I saw and that I can remember, again, it has been a long time, there were greens, golds, and reds.
And would we recognize these colors?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to clear my throat. Yes, you would recognize those. Those are the colors of Odosia.
So,
Do,
go ahead.
do they come see you?
One does. The one who looks more like me. He is as much of a father as I've had.
Wonder if we should wait for him and talk to him.
When's the last time he was here?
It has been... Time does not pass here.
How long does
I
it
do not
feel?
know. It feels like an eternity since I have spoken to anyone.
So that's a sign. And she like looks at the party and she's like, that's probably because the cube has been locked away and it was being transferred.
And as the dragon, Argonestivius, Argo for short, as she looks at Reva, you still have the cube.
Mm-hmm.
You hold the portal.
The portal?
The way in and out of this place. I am prevented from leaving, and she'll kind of put a claw underneath the collar and tug. I cannot pass through, but that is how they visit.
So, do you want me to tell you what I rolled for that Arcana check before?
Yes.
Okay. I got a 17.
Yeah, sorry. Again, a lot to keep track of. 17. You are pretty sure that you just have to reverse the placement on this key on this side. So you can try it at any point.
Reva is going to take a step towards Argo.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to ask, she's like, can I take a look at that collar?
Yes, by all means.
Can she roll an Arcana check for that?
Yep.
All right, that is a 16.
16. This is powerful, but
It can be dispelled. Essentially, what it does, that you gather from just like looking at its placement and kind of looking at the runes carved into it, it is essentially blocking this dragon from using a dragon's breath weapon. So gold dragon, again, I have it written down. I'm trying to remember their breath weapon. Is it lightning?
I think they're fire.
Oh yeah, you're right. So gold dragon has fire. Yeah, I have it written down right there. Or actually, it can be fire breath or weakening breath, but prevents Argo from using her fire breath.
All right. Is that all that Raven can tell from that?
You think that if you took the time and maybe grabbed some tools from the ship and brought them back here, that you could possibly open this up and free the dragon. And with that final Arcana check and bit of information, that is where we're going to have to leave it for tonight, guys. We're going to draw our giveaway winners real quick now. All right, here we go. Are we ready? Drum roll, please. So this is for the ice cream dice. All right. I'm such a nice guy. You have won the dice. You have won the dice.
Is he still here?
Congratulations.
I know he joined the public Discord.
The Discord. Yep. All right. So we'll get in contact with I'm such a nice guy and get them those dice. I assume he, because it says guy, but who knows? And then we're gonna roll for the next one. This is for the dice bag. That is going to be for MK Edwards. MK Edwards, you have won this beautiful handmade dice bag.
Thank you for being so like a present in the chat.
Yes,
too.
yes, that has been awesome.
Yeah,
and we always appreciate people watching and being present in the chat and engaging with us and everyone else. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys watching this very first episode of the campaign. We finally did it.
Yes.
Now that it's over.
But it was worth the wait. That's the important thing.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So very, very quickly, if we can, I would like to go around, and I'm going to actually take a cue from Chris, and I would like each person to tell me one thing you liked and one thing you would change. We will start with JJ, because I know you have to go soon.
Oh, no big deal.
Okay.
I did like the fact that it was role play heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty good, and I also like the kind of puzzles. The investigation was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think really the only thing we were lacking in this particular one was any sort of really combat. But
yeah.
I mean, it didn't. I don't think it distracted from anything. I think the heavy role play and the investigation kind of made up for the lack of combat. But that would be my only suggestion.
Okay, I'll take that. Let's go with Mark next.
Let me see. What did I enjoy? I also enjoy roleplay heavy scenarios, so nice and easy. And oh yeah, giving away dice was fun. What didn't I like?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's weird playing a dude who's like completely just like socially illiterate, and it's also fun though, right? So like
it's so much fun.
It's super fun to just like, yeah, I have no criticisms.
Okay, well, thank you. Let's go with Amber.
Honestly, I have to say that, right off the bat, I don't have any criticisms either. I really enjoyed the game tonight.
Yeah.
Again, roleplay is super awesome, super fun. I'm trying out an accent, so I mean, I guess I'll figure it out eventually.
That was good.
But really good. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good game. I really enjoyed myself.
Good. I'm glad. All right, Hannah.
So I love roleplay heavy sessions. They are my favorite thing.
I am aware.
I had a lot of fun.
Good.
My criticism is we gotta make sure to get Chris on next session because I need my ex-boyfriend.
Drama.
For the drama.
Yes, the drama begins.
Mama. Aoife is just very dramatic anyway, so I mean, it's gonna be fun.
All right. And,
but yeah.
All right. And Jess.
I'm gonna agree with everybody else. I really like the heavy stuff. Really like the little interrogations. That was fun. I liked intimidating and making that guy cry.
He was such a wimp.
Oh, no, it was funny.
I didn't originally have him pegged that way, but then it just worked. Like he's just sobbing.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
Awesome.
I really don't have any criticisms either.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome. I always enjoy playing with you guys. Thank you for letting me run you through this arc of the campaign, and thank you all for watching. And next week will be our drunk stream, so it will not be this game. It will be a level 20 one-shot where we will all of the players and me will be at least moderately inebriated. So come hang out. We're gonna have polls. We're gonna be doing giveaways. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and can't wait for that to happen and for my liver to hate me. Until then, we have our Waterdeep Dragon Heist game on Tuesday, and we have Make Believe Menagerie on Monday.
Yes,
I
tomorrow
got you,
Make Believe Menagerie comes back.
Yes. So
Yes.
tune into that as well. It's a lot of fun. Yep. And we have other stuff going on through the week. Check our schedule. Follow us on Twitter for updates on that. And until we see you guys again, please remember to keep it friendly. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.